Have you ever ruined a perfectly good day off just by packing the wrong pair of shoes?
Oh, definitely. Or missed a ride home.
Right, because you didn't know exactly what to ask the ticket agent. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Rick's English channel.
So glad to have you all here.
Today we are taking a deep dive into something incredibly practical, because by the end of our time together today, you're going to learn how to confidently plan a short trip.
Yeah.
You'll learn to check the weather, pack a bag, buy tickets, and talk about enjoying a relaxing adventure all in, simple, natural English.
And we're doing this with a very specific vibe in mind, I think.
Oh, for sure.
The pace today is going to be completely relaxed. The vocabulary we cover will be incredibly useful, but really easy to digest, which makes this perfect for English learners who want to, navigate the world without the stress of complicated grammar holding them back.
Because the entire mission today revolves around mastering the language of one specific concept, right? The day trip. And there's a distinct psychological appeal to a day trip, isn't there? I mean, you get all the dopamine of traveling to a beautiful beach or like a lakeside town.
But you completely avoid the stress and expense of booking hotels.
Exactly, because you return home on the exact same day.
Yeah, that's the defining rule, really. You do not sleep there overnight. You're compressing an entire vacation into roughly, 12 hours?
Something like that, yeah.
But to pull that off successfully, your mental energy management has to be flawless. Before you even think about packing a bag, you need a linguistic blueprint. You have to clearly communicate your destination.
I always find destination to be such a powerful word, honestly.
How so?
Well, it sounds so much more intentional than just saying, the place we are going. It implies a goal. Like if I say to a friend, what is our destination this weekend? It immediately sets this fun, adventurous tone.
Exactly. And choosing that destination carefully dictates literally everything else. So let's use a lakeside town as our target today.
Oh, I love that.
Right. It's the quintessential relaxing getaway. You've got fresh air, cafes, maybe a scenic walking path right next to the water.
This looks perfect.
But the moment you agree on that lakeside town, you hit your first major logistical hurdle, which is transportation.
And this is where I usually make my first massive mistake.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because I'll look at a map and think, oh, a lakeside town 5 hours away. Let's go.
I know.
But how long is too long for a day trip? Because spending 10 hours of a single day sitting in a car or a train, I mean, that feels like a nightmare.
Yeah, you're touching on the psychology of travel fatigue there. If your transportation time is 4 hours each way, you are no longer on a relaxing day trip.
Definitely not.
You've accidentally signed up for a travel marathon. The golden rule for preserving your energy is to keep the travel time under 2 hours each way.
A travel marathon, that is the perfect way to describe it. It feels like showing up to run a grueling race that you absolutely didn't train for.
Right.
You arrive at the lake, you step off the bus, and you're already completely exhausted before the fun even begins. So as a traveler, you have to ask your partner, how long does it take to get there? Just to protect your peace of mind.
And the most natural way a native speaker will answer that question uses a very reliable formula. They'll say, it takes about 1 hour by train.
Okay, so it takes about...
You just plug in the time of the vehicle. It takes about 2 hours by bus.
Yeah.
It sets clear expectations immediately.
Okay, so we've managed our mental energy by picking a close destination. Now we have to manage our environmental energy.
Yes.
We need to figure out what happens when we actually step outside into the elements.
Which brings us to the weather forecast. We all know the forecast tells us if it'll be sunny, rainy, or windy. But linguistically, the forecast is the trigger for simple conditional planning.
Right.
It allows you to create a shared mental checklist with your travel partner.
And this is where we get to one of my absolute favorite phrases for travelers. The phrase, don't forget.
Oh, it's so useful.
It's basically a superpower. If the forecast predicts a beautiful sunny afternoon by the water, you just tell your friend, don't forget your sunglasses or don't forget the sunscreen.
It sounds so simple, but it's highly effective communication. It completely removes the burden of remembering everything yourself.
Yeah.
Now, closely tied to checking that forecast is the concept of dressing for the environment. The absolute reigning king of day trip vocabulary is the word comfortable.
Okay, I'm going to push back on this a little bit.
Oh, really?
Just a little, because Half the fun of going to a gorgeous lakeside town is taking amazing photos.
Okay, I see where this is going.
Right. What if I just bought a stunning pair of brand new boots and I want to look fantastic for the camera?
Mm.
Is a day trip really the time to prioritize comfort over style?
That is the fastest way to ruin your entire afternoon.
You think so?
Absolutely. Brand new shoes might look incredible on a screen, but they haven't been broken in to fit the unique shape of your feet. If you're walking around a lake for 6 hours, those stiff new boots are going to cause blisters.
Okay, fair enough.
In English, we often suggest wearing sneakers.
And sneakers is such a fun word when you think about where it comes from. You're literally wearing shoes with rubber soles so quiet that you could, like, sneak around without anyone hearing you.
It paints a great picture, doesn't it? Sneakers are the ultimate example of something that is practical.
Practical.
Yeah. When we describe clothing as practical, we mean it serves a real-world purpose rather than just satisfying a fashion trend.
Like a hoodie. A hoodie is the definition of practical.
Oh, totally.
It's a sweatshirt with a hood attached to the back. If that lakeside wind picks up in the late afternoon, you just pull the hood up, you stay warm, you stay happy, and your trip continues uninterrupted.
So we have our practical clothing, our comfortable sneakers. Now we transition to managing our physical and digital energy. We need to secure the cargo.
The cargo, I like that.
Since you aren't sleeping at the destination, a rolling suitcase is completely unnecessary and will only slow you down. You need a small backpack.
Having a small backpack is crucial because it leaves your hands completely free to hold a coffee or take photos or check a map. But the real debate is what actually goes inside that backpack to keep the day running smoothly.
Well, beyond the obvious items like your ID card, a water bottle, and some tissues for unexpected spills.
Always need tissues.
Always. But the single most vital piece of modern travel equipment is a power bank, or, as it's sometimes called, a portable phone charger.
Portable being the key word there, right? Power you can carry in your pocket. Because nothing induces panic quite like staring at a map app in a town you don't know and realizing you have to say the dreaded phrase, "My phone battery is low."
The power bank protects your digital energy. But you also have to protect your biological energy. And the best way to do that is by throwing a sandwich, some fruit, or a box of cookies into that small backpack.
Because if you don't, you risk summoning the absolute worst version of yourself. You risk becoming hangry.
Yes, hangry is a brilliant linguistic invention. It's a portmanteau,
A blend.
right? A blend of the words hungry and angry.
For an English learner, using a word like hangry might feel a bit like internet slang. Is it something they should actually try to use in real conversation?
Oh, absolutely. It started as informal slang, sure, but it's become a staple of everyday English because it perfectly diagnoses a universal human condition.
That drop in blood sugar.
Exactly. When your blood sugar drops, your patience drops with it. Telling your travel partner, I need a snack, I'm getting hangry, instantly communicates that your bad mood isn't their fault. It's just a biological reality that needs fixing.
It's the biological equivalent of your phone battery dropping to 1%. You need a recharge. So the backpack is loaded with portable chargers and anti-hangry snacks. Now we have to secure our legal right to travel. We need to buy the tickets.
And thanks to modern technology, you'll likely be dealing with digital tickets stored right on your phone. But when you approach the digital kiosk or the ticket window, you face a critical vocabulary choice.
Which is?
A one-way ticket versus a round-trip ticket.
Well, if you buy a one-way ticket, you're going to that lakeside town to start a new life because you are not coming back. A one-way ticket only covers the journey to the destination.
Which fundamentally breaks the rule of a day trip. You must return. Therefore, the phrase you need is, we would like 2 round-trip tickets, please. The round trip covers your journey there and your journey back home. It's a closed loop.
Okay, so the tickets are on the phone, the snacks are in the bag, the practical sneakers are tied. It is time for the execution phase. And this requires managing your social energy, specifically how you communicate about time with your travel partner.
Coordinating time is where a lot of friction happens. You might want to get a head start on the day by saying we should leave early. Or setting a firm boundary like, let's meet at 8 a.m.
But let's talk about the linguistic fear of sounding rude. Like, if I have a friend who is notoriously slow, my instinct might be to just look at them and say, don't be late.
Right.
It's grammatically correct, it's clear, but how does that actually sound to a native speaker?
Honestly, it sounds like a manager scolding an employee. Don't be late is a command. It's abrasive and puts unnecessary pressure on your friend.
So what's better?
If you want to maintain a cooperative, friendly tone, a much better alternative is, let's try to be on time.
Let's try to be on time. I love the inclusion of the word let's, let us. It immediately reframes the situation from an order into a team effort. You're in it together.
Exactly.
Of course, even with perfect teamwork, there is always that inevitable moment of morning panic. You're halfway out the door, doing the pocket tap for your keys and phone, and you realize your digital tickets are on a tablet sitting on the kitchen counter.
When you sprint back inside to grab it, you get to use a highly reassuring phrase. I almost forgot it.
The word almost is doing so much heavy lifting in that sentence.
Oh.
It means a complete disaster was moments away, but you successfully averted it. You get to breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, you survived the morning panic and made it to the station. Stations, whether for trains or buses, are naturally chaotic environments. Knowing the precise vocabulary cuts through the noise. If you're taking a train, the magic word is platform. You simply ask a worker, which platform is our train on?
Because the platform is the elevated physical space where the passengers actually stand to board the train. You aren't just looking for the train itself, you're looking for where you're supposed to safely wait for it. But what if you opted for the bus instead?
Then you're looking for the bus stop. You can ask, where is the bus stop? A bus stop is a designated area, often marked simply with a sign, where the vehicle pauses to pick up passengers.
Passengers.
That's right. And in this scenario, the passenger is you, the person enjoying the ride without having to do any of the driving.
So you sit back, you look out the window for your 1-hour ride, and suddenly you arrive. You step off the train, and the air is fresh. The execution phase is over, and the experience phase begins.
And this is a massive shift in how you use English. You move from planning language to exploring language.
That makes sense.
When you first arrive, you probably don't want to rush to a specific museum immediately. You want to absorb the atmosphere. You can casually suggest to your friend, let's look around.
Let's look around. It implies moving slowly, with no rigid agenda, just letting your eyes wander. Or you could say, let's take a walk by the lake. It's peaceful. And inevitably, you're going to find a beautiful spot with the water shining behind you, and you'll want to capture that memory.
Which requires interacting with a complete stranger. You have to hand them your phone and ask them to take a photo. This is a moment where non-native speakers often freeze up, worried about being impolite.
Right, because a learner might naturally say, can you take a picture of us, since they learn that can refers to ability, but why do we specifically encourage people to swap out the word can for could?
It's entirely about verbal spacing and respect. Can you is very direct. It
Yeah.
almost sounds like you're challenging their physical ability to press a button.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But could you, could you take a picture of us? That softens the request. It acknowledges that you're interrupting their day, and it gives them a polite way to say no if they're in a rush.
Mm.
It's universally recognized as the friendly approach.
That is a phenomenal pro tip. Always use could you when asking for a favor from a stranger. Okay, so the stranger takes a lovely photo, you've been walking by the lake for a few hours, and suddenly the snacks from the backpack have worn off. It is time for a real meal.
You have two great options here. If you are incredibly prepared and brought a massive lunch from home, you can look for a picnic area.
Right.
A picnic is the act of eating a meal outdoors, surrounded by nature. And the picnic area usually has wooden tables specifically set up for this.
But let's be real, part of the joy of traveling is tasting the destination.
Yeah.
If you didn't pack a lunch, you might say, let's try a local restaurant.
And the word local carries a lot of cultural weight. It means the restaurant is unique to that specific town. It isn't a global fast food chain. It's food deeply tied to the community you're visiting.
So you enjoy an amazing local meal, you step back outside into the afternoon sun, you've been on your feet for 6 hours, and suddenly,
The exhaustion hits.
yes, your legs feel like lead.
This is the critical juncture where honest communication will either save or destroy the day trip. If you want the rest of the day to go smoothly, meaning without arguments or misery, you have to speak up.
It is so common for learners to suffer in silence, though. They think that admitting they are tired will ruin the fun vibe of the trip. But you have to look at your partner and say, I'm a little tired, or I need a short break. You can even be totally blunt and say, my feet hurt.
People fear these phrases because they sound negative. You might worry that you sound whiny, but practically speaking, hiding your physical discomfort actually makes you a terrible travel partner.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because admitting you need a short break to sit on a bench for 10 minutes resets your biological battery. It prevents you from becoming irritable and genuinely saves the rest of the afternoon.
Communication literally saves the day. So you take your 10-minute break, you drink some water, and as the late afternoon rolls in, it's time for the classic tourist ritual, which is securing a tangible memory of the trip.
You're talking about hunting for a souvenir. The word actually comes from the French word for memory. It's a physical object you purchase specifically to remember the experience. It could be a scenic postcard, a magnet for your refrigerator, or maybe a keychain.
And here is a real-world tip that will save you so much grief. Buy light souvenirs. Do not buy a giant, heavy ceramic bowl at 10 in the morning and drag it around all day. It becomes incredibly annoying.
Annoying is the perfect adjective there. It means something that causes you mild, persistent frustration. An object that is supposed to bring you joy becomes a heavy anchor. Carrying a heavy souvenir for hours is the absolute definition of annoying.
Stick to the postcards, folks. So, you have a lightweight souvenir in your pocket, the sun is starting to lower over the lake, and the air is getting cool. It's finally time to transition back to reality.
To initiate this final phase gracefully, you can use the phrase, "We should head back soon."
Head back.
Yeah, to head back is a remarkably natural, conversational way to say you need to start moving in the direction of home.
And this requires checking back in with our time management blueprint. You look at your partner and ask, what time is our return train?
Because the golden rule of a day trip is building in a time buffer. If your train departs at 6 p.m., you should start walking toward the station at 5:30. It is always significantly better to be early than to be late.
So true.
If you miss that return train, your cheap, relaxing day trip suddenly turns into a stressful, expensive overnight stay in a hotel.
That would instantly destroy all the peace and quiet you just built up. Okay, let's take a step back and look at the incredible journey we've just mapped out. From choosing the perfect destination to packing a small backpack with a power bank to protect our digital energy. We utilize simple phrases to buy round-trip tickets, politely asked strangers for photos, admitted when our feet hurt to save the mood, and finally headed back before dark.
The overarching insight here is incredibly empowering for English learners, I think. Notice what we didn't use today.
Right.
You do not need complex grammar or obscure, difficult vocabulary to navigate the world effectively.
You really don't. Simple, clear sentences are entirely enough to say where you want to go, what you need to bring, how you are feeling physically, and what time you need to leave. That is the true, ultimate goal of learning English. It isn't about passing a written test. It's about connecting with other people and navigating new environments with genuine confidence.
Exactly. The language is just a tool to make your real-world experiences go smoothly.
So before you start packing your own backpack, a quick reminder, please like this video, subscribe to Rick's English channel, and drop down into the comments right now and type the words day trip to show us you actively practiced your listening skills with us today. We also genuinely want to know your travel dreams. Where would you ideally like to go for a one-day trip? A sunny beach, high up in the mountains, a quiet small town, a massive museum? Let us know.
It's always incredibly fascinating to read through those comments and see the diverse destinations people are dreaming about.
It really is. Now, I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. Today, we covered the vocabulary needed to plan the perfect, smooth day trip. But what happens when things don't go according to plan? What if your return train is unexpectedly delayed by 3 hours, or it pours freezing rain when the forecast promised sunshine? I challenge you to think about how you might use these exact same simple phrases like, I need a short break, or we should head back soon, or I almost forgot it, to solve a surprise problem on your next adventure. Language isn't just for predicting the future, it's your best tool for problem solving when the unexpected happens. Happy learning and enjoy your next day trip.